When I took care of everyone, I never imagined I would be the one left behind. I remember the exact moment it happened, not because it was loud, but because it was quiet. My daughter-in-law stood in the doorway of the kitchen, her arms folded, her voice calm. Too calm. She did not raise her voice. She did not look angry. She just looked tired. She said my name once. Then she said, "This isn't working anymore."
He smiled at her. I don't know why.
Maybe it was habit. Maybe it was fear. Maybe it was the part of me that had spent my whole life keeping peace. Inside, something broke. But on the outside, I nodded. I had spent years putting everyone else first. I woke up early, so no one would have to. I cooked meals before anyone asked. I listened. I helped. I stayed quiet. I believed that love was something you proved by giving, by staying, by holding things together. That day, standing in that kitchen, I realized something painful. Sometimes you can give everything and still be told you no longer belong. The house was quiet. Too quiet. The clock on the wall ticked louder than usual. The smell of tea filled the air, untouched on the counter. She didn't say I had done something wrong. She didn't list my mistakes. She didn't explain much at all. She just said, "You should think about making other arrangements." Other arrangements. Such gentle words. Such heavy meaning. I looked past her, into the living room where I had folded laundry, watched television, waited for everyone to come home. I thought of all the small ways I had tried to be useful, invisible, easy. I thought of my late husband, of the home we once shared, of how I promised myself I would never be a burden to my children. And now here I was, still smiling, still nodding, still pretending I was strong enough to carry this quietly. That was the day I learned that silence can hurt more than shouting, that kindness can still push you away, and that being needed is not the same as being wanted. Before that day, my life was very simple. I did not need much. I did not ask for much. I only wanted to feel useful. After my husband passed away, the house became too quiet. The kind of quiet that sits with you at night and makes you talk to yourself. I tried living alone, but the days felt long, and the nights felt even longer. My son told me I should come stay with them. He said, "Mom, you don't have to be alone anymore." I remember how relieved I felt hearing those words. I packed my things slowly, folding each piece of clothing with care, as if I was packing my old life away. I told myself this was a new chapter, a warm one. When I moved in, I promised myself something very important. I promised I would never be a problem. From the very first day, I tried to make myself small. I woke up before everyone else. I cleaned quietly. I cooked meals the way they liked them. If the baby cried at night, I got up. If the house was messy, I fixed it. If my daughter-in-law looked tired, I stepped in without being asked. She never asked me to do these things, but I did them anyway, because I believed that if I was helpful, I would be loved. I stayed out of their conversations. I kept my opinions to myself. I smiled even when I felt lonely sitting at the table while they talked about things I didn't understand. Sometimes, I would hear them laughing in the other room, and I would pause in the kitchen, holding a plate, wondering if they even noticed I wasn't there. But I told myself this was normal. Young families are busy. Life moves fast. There isn't always time for an old woman. At night, when everyone was asleep, I would sit on the edge of my bed and whisper to myself, "Be grateful. You have a roof. You have family." Still, there were moments that hurt. Small ones. Quiet ones. A sigh when I entered the room. A look exchanged between them that stopped when they saw me. A pause in conversation that felt heavier than words. I ignored it. I told myself I was imagining things. I told myself love doesn't always speak out loud. I didn't realize then that I was slowly becoming invisible in the very home I tried to protect. The changes did not happen all at once. They never do. At first, it was just little things. Things so small that I felt foolish even noticing them. My daughter-in-law stopped asking me how my day was. She stopped smiling when she passed me in the hallway. Her thank yous became shorter, almost automatic. I told myself she was tired. Raising a family is not easy. I knew that. So, I worked harder. I cleaned more carefully. I cooked meals earlier. I tried new recipes, hoping to please everyone. Sometimes she would take one bite, nod once, and say nothing. Those quiet moments hurt more than harsh words ever could. I started to feel like I was walking on thin glass. Every step had to be careful. Every movement had to be quiet. If I laughed too loudly, I noticed the way she glanced over. If I offered help, she would say, "It's fine," but her voice sounded tight. One afternoon, I folded the laundry and placed it neatly on the couch. She walked in, looked at it, and sighed. "I was going to do that," she said. I apologized right away. I said, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step in." She didn't answer. She just picked up the clothes and walked away. That was when I started feeling like I was always in the way. At the dinner table, conversations changed when I sat down. Topics shifted. Laughter faded. I found myself eating faster, hoping to finish before the silence became too loud. Sometimes I would take my plate to my room, pretending I wasn't hungry anymore. At night, I lay awake replaying every moment of the day. Did I say something wrong? Did I do too much? Did I not do enough? I stopped making suggestions. I stopped asking questions. I stopped being myself. I watched my son closely. He seemed torn. He loved me, I knew that. But he was tired too. When I spoke, he listened, but his eyes carried worry. Not anger, just weight. Once I heard them talking late at night, not arguing, whispering. My name floated through the door like something fragile. I sat on my bed, holding my breath, afraid to hear more. I didn't want to know what I already felt. The house that once felt warm started feeling narrow, like there wasn't enough space for all of us to breathe. And slowly, painfully, I began to understand something I never wanted to admit. I was no longer a help. I was a presence. And in that home, my presence had become heavy. The day everything changed did not start badly. That is what makes it harder to remember. The morning felt normal. The sun came through the window like it always did. I made coffee. I fed the baby. I wiped the counter. Nothing warned me. Later that afternoon, my daughter-in-law asked if we could talk. She did not sound angry. She did not sound upset. She sounded calm. That calm scared me more than shouting ever could. We stood in the kitchen. The same kitchen where I had tried so hard to belong. The clock ticked on the wall, slow and loud. She crossed her arms and took a deep breath. "I've been thinking about this for a while," she said. I nodded. I stayed quiet. She looked at the floor, then back at me. "I feel like we don't have space," she said. "Not just in the house. Emotionally." I felt my chest tighten. She continued, choosing her words carefully, like she didn't want to hurt me, but knew she would anyway. "You're always here," she said, "and I never get a moment to feel like this is my home." I wanted to say something. I wanted to tell her I tried to disappear, that I stayed quiet on purpose, that I only wanted to help. But nothing came out. Then she said the words that still echo in my head. "Maybe it's time you thought about living somewhere else." Somewhere else. She didn't say leave. She didn't say go.
But I heard it anyway.
The room felt smaller. The air felt heavy. I looked at her face, searching for kindness, for doubt, for something that said she might change her mind. I saw none. So I smiled. I smiled because I didn't want to cry. I smiled because I didn't want to seem weak. I smiled because that is what I have always done when my heart breaks. "I understand," I said. My voice sounded strange to my own ears. She nodded, relieved. That hurt more than anything. My son came home later that evening. I told him quietly. He looked shocked, then sad, then tired. He hugged me for a long time. "I never wanted you to feel unwanted," he whispered. But I already did. That night, I packed my things slowly. Each item felt heavier than it should have. I folded my clothes the same careful way I always had. I placed my photos on top. I sat on the bed when I got tired. The house was quiet. No one came to stop me. No one knocked. That was when I understood. The decision had already been made. I did not leave right away. I stayed a few more days. Not because I was asked to stay, but because I needed time to understand what had happened. I moved through the house quietly. Quieter than before. I made breakfast, but less of it. I washed dishes that were no longer mine. I folded laundry that would not include my clothes much longer. No one said anything, and that silence taught me more than words ever could. At night, I lay awake thinking about my life, about all the places I had given myself away. To my parents, to my husband, to my children. I wondered when I had stopped being a person and started being a role. The helper, the supporter, the one who never complains. I realized something then. I had confused love with sacrifice, that I believed that if I gave enough, stayed quiet enough, made myself small enough, I would be safe. But love is not supposed to make you disappear. One afternoon, my daughter-in-law came into the room where I was sitting. She hesitated. "I didn't mean to hurt you," she said softly. I looked at her. For the first time, I did not rush to comfort her. "I know," I replied, and I truly meant it. She wasn't cruel. She was protecting her space, and I had never protected mine. That night, I spoke to my son. "I don't blame you," I told him, "but I need to go."
He cried.
I held him the way I did when he was small. "It's okay," I whispered. "It's time." When I left, I didn't take much. Just my clothes, my photos, my quiet strength. I moved into a small place. It was not beautiful, but it was mine. The first night there, I sat on the bed and listened to the silence. It felt lonely, but it also felt honest. In the mornings, I made coffee just for myself. I didn't rush. I didn't wait for anyone to wake up. I began to remember who I was. Not the mother, not the helper.
Just me.
Some days were still hard. There were moments when I missed the baby's laughter, when I reached for my phone and stopped myself. But I was learning something new. Peace does not always come wrapped in company. Sometimes it comes with space. I started taking walks. Short ones at first, then longer ones. I noticed things again. The sound of birds, the smell of rain, the way sunlight feels when no one is waiting for you. I forgave them, not because they asked, but because holding pain was too heavy. And slowly, quietly, I forgave myself. Today, my life is quieter. Not empty, just quieter. I still speak to my son. We talk about small things. Weather.
Work.
The baby.
We don't talk about that day.
And that's okay. Some truths don't need to be spoken to be understood, that I no longer live in their home. But I live inside myself again, that I cook meals I enjoy. I sit by the window in the evenings. I let time move slowly. Sometimes, when the house is very still, I think about all the years I spent caring for others. I don't regret them. Love given freely is never wasted. But I have learned something I wish I had known earlier. You can love deeply and still choose yourself. You can be kind without disappearing. You can give without losing your place in the world. If you are listening to this and feel unseen, if you feel like you have given everything and still feel alone, please hear this. You matter. Your presence matters. Your voice matters. Your needs matter. It is not selfish to want peace. It is not wrong to step back. It is not weakness to protect your heart. Sometimes, the bravest thing we can do is leave quietly and begin again. I didn't leave with anger. I left with understanding. And in that understanding, I found something I had lost. Myself.